Where do machine elves come from? This is a question I get a lot, and I will tell you about the messages I got and what I saw on my journeys. I made a series of videos explaining their nature, so if that's the main reason why you're here, you can get more information by watching these 434 videos. Who, what are machine elves? Are machine elves real? Are machine elves good or evil? And machine elves, spaceships and machinery. In my communication with them, it takes a while to collect enough information on a given subject to learn something, and to be honest, I'm still not sure about the nature of origin of these alien forms. They are not too keen on talking about themselves, and everything I know is what I saw traveling with them to their dimensions, occasionally getting some of my questions answered. Before I start, I want to let you know that this channel and all of the 434 structure is fully financed by the wonderful and generous members of this community. If you want to be a part of this consciousness shifting movement, you can join Patreon and Subscribestar. I want to make it very easy for everyone, and I have just added a bank transfer option, and I have also created a mini website with all donation methods and links, including PayPal and cryptocurrency QR codes. Go to join.b434.com as shown on this screen now. All links are also listed in the video description. Thanks a million to everyone who is taking part in this groundbreaking journey, helping me and others. Let me start by saying that machine elves do not want us to concentrate on their form or their origin. They're especially not happy with me asking them about things that I want to use in the 434 videos. They said that me going to their realm with a materialistic approach is ridiculous, so collecting information on the nature of their existence took me years. I think there's an important lesson in the question itself. Where do machine elves come from? Why does it matter? Why is their form more important to us than their messages? We all want to ask the questions, and I can assure you that we're very human in our approach. That is the reason why they're always morphing for those of you who have contact with them. For some unexplained reason, they stay in the same form in communication with me, but they really don't like us paying attention to their appearance. There's a story I never told you from years ago. It must have been my third contact with them, and I was starting to get ballsy with testing the boundaries of my interaction with them. I was traveling with one of the entities on its spaceship, and I really wanted to concentrate on the details of its appearance, knowing very well that they really don't like it and that I'm not supposed to do it, since machine elves don't express any emotions themselves. When I started analyzing the appearance of that entity, a smaller, dog-like machine elf jumped in front of my face, barking and trying to bite my face, making sure I stopped looking at the other machine elf. It was a very funny experience. A few years later, they explained why it is so important not to pay attention to them. You are not supposed to observe the appearance of aliens because it slows down your mental abilities and communication process with them. You paying attention to them is an obstacle in a fast communication. That's what they explained to me. To them, the form and possibly their origin explanation don't matter, in the same way as they want us to pay little attention to human origin, although they did explain that. You can watch the human's origin video. They told me once, mushrooms plug you into the cosmic internet, and any alien you talk to will leave something behind in your personality. They will affect the way you think or your memories or the way you see the world. It is possible that concentrating too much on where they come from and what they look like could affect your communication experience or even your life in this reality. After all, they did say you're not supposed to analyze and interpret things constantly. Emotions are the reason you're here. Emotions are what connects you to other dimensions. You're here to experience things emotionally, not logically. They've never been wrong, and I trust them in everything they say. Nevertheless, I can tell you what I saw. Machine elves gave me an explanation about their true nature when I met the creator, the rainbow-colored river of the 434 energy that constructs everything. I asked them, "Who are you?" And they said, "We are you. We take a piece of you and we create ourselves so that we can talk to you, but in reality we are part of the 434 river. That's the energy, and that's where we come from." They explained to me that for the purpose of communication with us, they take an element of our personality and they use it to generate their form. It explains why they morph. It doesn't explain though why in my case and many others like Terence McKenna's, machine elves look like bionic androids. I don't have any specific preference for seeing robots, and the fact that others see them too makes it a universal experience shared by many. But they're made of the energy, or as we call it, God. And I described it in the video called God Explained. They are a part of the high-frequency, all-encompassing, matter-generating force that flows through us and everything around us. This might also be the reason why they appear in moments of extremely high frequency like transcendental states, meditation, and orgasm. They all exist in beautiful and amazing outer dimensions I can describe to you. You need to understand that I can only talk about it in human words, and our language does not have the right terminology to describe it correctly. The first ever entity that showed me its form was in fact a dimension or a universe itself. It told me that its structure is so complex that I cannot understand it, and it was right. It was a huge energy being made of love with body parts made of light in colors we don't have description for. Although other machine elves are smaller and look more like a single body organisms, they do exist in dimensions that look like that first divine entity I saw. These dimensions are suspended in or are made of complete infinite darkness. There is no sense of time and space in them. It is important to mention that our earthly 3D perception does not work there. There is no up and down, there is no now and then, there is no gravity and no end. Your sense of being there is perceived emotionally, and these emotions allow you to see the emotional aspects of that dimension. It is a place made of love, and when you feel being immersed in it, a beautiful mist-like colorful haze appears that you experience telepathically with your whole existence. When I was taken to the dimension where my connection with you is generated, it was made of what I call a light blue and purple jelly mist of awe. You can understand now why these are the 434 colors I use. Although it had observable, somewhat physical form, its main characteristic was emotional structure vibrating in you, with you, through you, and by you during the process of visual and material manifestation. It was beautiful and colorful, but it was mainly loving, blissful, precious, noble, and dignified, and its main feature was that its source was your collective 434 emotions. It really makes very little sense trying to describe it with human language. It is a dimension where things are infinitely far, but very close at the same time. It is an endless realm that stretches in every direction, but you and your existence is bigger than it, and you simultaneously are a part of it, and at the same time it is located inside of you. It sounds very abstract when you hear me describing it, but trust me that it makes perfect sense when you're there. Machine elves meet with me in that space, and I'm not even sure if they come from there or whether they just travel through them, or even whether they create these places for the purpose of our communication. It is a place where everything happened and time doesn't exist. That's why very often they accurately predict future when I talk to them. I was allowed once to look at our dimension in a way where all events and every piece of information is accessible, like on a globe, and it feels so obvious and natural that I wasn't even interested in paying attention to it. I will explain this in another video about time. It is important to mention that they come from a place where everything is made of love, the same place that people go to when they die. Those who experience near-death experiences come back talking sometimes word for word about the same worlds as we experience on our trips. These dimensions sometimes become very well defined and narrow in their spectrum. Like when I went to the dimension of my origin, it had very typical cosmic characteristics that are easier to understand. Also, when I saw my energy form, that looked like a place we go back to after leaving our physical dimension. It had well-defined spatial characteristics which allowed other diamond forms to be there with me. A few weeks ago, the entities told me that this reality and the outer dimension are the same and that they're parallel to each other. They showed me a rainbow-shaped bridge connecting them, and it feels like this earthly reality we live in is a physical compartment with matter-generating frequency in one of those loving dimensions. It is important to remind you that they made it clear that we're all entities here. Yes, it is very likely that we ourselves are machine elves who decided to experience a physical existence here for the purpose of love training. They said, be a loving entity because you are also an entity. Just love everybody, it's all that matters. This is significant as machine elves are creators and they create their form and maybe their reality. Since you're an entity yourself, you do it too. They said, to tap into the creating force, you need to be in the same frequency as the force. You need to be in high frequency to create things in your life. That is why all of the recent 434 videos dealt with the energy, law of attraction, and emotional power of creation. It is for you to understand the power of your manifesting abilities in this realm. This is a simulation and you might be a simulated appearance too. Remember that in this case, the rules governing your existence here are very different to the ones we were conditioned to believe in, and I hope you had a chance to see the previous video about the powers you have here. It is important for you to understand how this reality works and what powers you have. One more thing they said. Remember that life after this life will be made of what you had filled it with in this life. What you're doing now will define your future existence. The machine elf dimensions we're being taken to have similar properties that our reality has, and our earthly realm is simply suspended in it. Think about the implications of this. The reason I made this video is that a few weeks ago I was told that they want me to recreate the machine of dimensions here in our reality using available human technology. Sounds like a challenging task for the future, and I'm looking forward to doing it one day. I already have an idea how to do this, but I'll wait for more instructions from them. I do realize that some of you watch 434 videos for their motivational value, and this video was very informative. So if you would want to watch something inspirational from me, I would suggest you watch a video called "Your Numbers Are Awesome." Go to Peter Hedron YouTube channel and you'll find the link in the video description. In the next video, I'll announce the dates for the first meetups. Thank you for watching, and remember about join.be434.com if you wish to contribute towards building the 434 structure and helping others. There's Patreon, PayPal, Subscribestar, cryptocurrencies, and now bank transfer options. All links in the video description. Join the available 434 chat rooms if you want to talk to me and other 434 members, and you can go to Telegram, Reddit, and Discord. All links below.